This is a Pele Media podcast.
Welcome back to Goonies Minute, everybody. Goonies Minute is the fan podcast where we carefully explore the movie Goonies minute by minute. I'm Brady.
And this is Chris.
And we are going over minute number 86 today, and we are joined again by our special guest from Pirates of the Caribbean Minute, Scott and Heather. Guys, thank you so much for making it back in today.
No problem. It was a good flight, so
Yeah.
I'm glad to be back in the studio.
Yeah. With that said, y'all want to get into the minute?
Let's do it.
Let's get into the minute.
Sounds
Thank you,
great.
Chris. Awesome. In the previous minute, the Goonies were continuing to take in the Inferno. Data had fallen through a grate in the floor and found himself in a room full of skeletons. The rest of the Goonies walk down the stairs into the room, while Data continues to rant about his every problem. Brand and Stephanie catch up to Mikey and Andy. Mikey takes a sword out of the chest of one of the skeletons. They then walk into the next room. Mikey has found what appears to be a map. He asks Mouth to translate it. Mouth shouts at Mikey and says that it's nothing more than a blueprint of the ship. Everyone begins to yell at Mikey in frustration. They want to know where the gold is right now. And thus ends minute 86 of the Goonies. You know, like we discussed yesterday, we are here on one of the most impressive sets that I think any of us have ever seen in a movie, and that's the Inferno, One-Eyed Willie's ship.
Oh, that's not the set here in the studio?
You know what? Let me tell you something. No, yeah, so whenever you guys watch this movie, this moment where they turn around and they see the ship for the first time, I mean, I get chills every time I see it, and I've been watching this movie for 30-some-odd years.
I can actually see the goosebumps and the
You
hair
can,
standing up
just
on you
talking
right
about it.
now just talking about it.
From over this desk.
Dressed in your three-piece suit.
Exactly. And my eye patch.
Yeah.
And you know, I got to get in character for
Your
this.
hands are shaking.
Exactly.
It's dedication that you Pele Media brings to their podcast is just amazing.
We're totally in this thing, man. 100%.
So I just totally threw a monkey wrench in that.
You really did. So I'm going to let you take the rest of the show. I see you over there on your phone.
I like how in the beginning of this, speaking about how impressive this ship is they're kind of exploring the ship, and Data's ranting on and on about taking the stairs and how he had fallen down and stuff, so he's really upset about that. But this brings back to the point that I was talking about last minute, where Andy's following Mikey around, and where is Brand? He comes back in a little bit, but Mikey is the leader. Mikey is the one that this the female lead is following.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
That's a real good point.
Yeah, Mikey's the one that she's following, and he goes grab the sword, and Andy's affectionate towards him, and she keeps touching him, not in an inappropriate way, but in a more than you would expect way for her being supposedly interested in the older brother. Mm-hmm. She touches him
Yes.
like that would be her boyfriend. That's how, and she keeps the hand on him out. And if y'all get a chance to watch it again, do it. She keeps her hand on him, just on his thigh or on his shoulder, just a little bit longer than what you would think for someone that's just a friend. It's like there's something more there. I don't know if that's something that the directors wanted them to do, or if it's something that was inner to the actor and actress themselves, that there was a little bit more affection there. And not necessarily inappropriate, but a little bit more affection there than you would expect.
The physical affection aside, it's still strange that they have the person that they're developing to be the older brother's love interest so prominent around Mikey. And not even, it's just the fact that she's like constantly there over these last couple of minutes. Mikey needs to have somebody to, he's going to need to be like speaking and everything. So there needs to be somebody there for him to explain things to. And it seems like over the course of the movie, Andy is the best person to like be explaining something to. So he's almost talking to the audience because
That's right.
Everybody else is a little bit more. She's kind of ditzy, so it's explaining things to her is kind of a necessity. And so
Yes, that exposition that comes out.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's very necessary. I guess that's why she's sort of there following him around the whole time.
Well, you look, when she goes pick up that voodoo doll, she's got this deer in the headlights look when she looks at it. She looks so confused.
What's up with the voodoo doll?
I don't know. There's nothing is really. It's like we're too late in the movie for that to be developed.
The other potential is that Mikey was telling Bran to go off on some little errand with the map just so he could hang out with her. So Mikey was maybe smart enough to get rid of Bran so he can try and connect. Or maybe he hung like a tie on the doorknob on the ship there or something, and Bran got the hint and moved off.
Exactly. I like it.
Yeah, I did notice how she kind of puts her arms on his shoulders and then kind of goes down his arms. Mm-hmm. Her hands on his shoulders and kind of goes down his arms and, just kind of hangs on for a moment.
Yeah.
I did notice that. Yeah, there's something there.
What is it about the Inferno that just, turns up the heat?
It's a disco inferno.
Well, it is. I've actually got some notes on the Inferno set. It was actually a complete set in and of itself. It was a complete ship, and all the exteriors and interiors were filmed on the ship. So it's not like they went into another location to shoot some of the stuff where they're in certain rooms of the ship. That's actually in the ship. So they built an actual pirate ship top to bottom. It was 102 feet long. And it took 2.5 months to build, and it was modeled after Errol Flynn's ship in the Seahawk.
Get out of town.
Right? Yeah. So have you seen that?
I have not seen the Seahawk, no.
Yeah, I'm familiar with it, but I haven't seen it. But it's so cool that they...
Real quick, would that have been... That's not the pirate movie that was playing in Sloth's Chamber, was it?
That's Captain Blood.
Yeah, that's right. Okay.
It also had sails that required more than 7,000 square feet of material. In fact, the largest the largest of the sails measured 30 feet by 60 feet. So
that's incredible.
Just to give you an idea as to how big that soundstage was, that's, maybe a quarter of the height of the soundstage. So, and that's on top of the fact that there had to be a tank of water in there. There's the full 102 feet of the ship, and then whatever more the size of the sail is going to add to that, and then everything above that. So it's just a massive, massive room. But so here, like I said yesterday, the Pirates of the Caribbean attraction actually found its way into the Goonies movie. And that is that some of the rigging of the ship was recycled material from the ship in the Pirates of the Caribbean ride at Disneyland.
Wow.
So,
wow.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
But,
so that just even makes me sad when you tell me that the whole ship was decked out in the set and everything was complete in there, and then they couldn't find a home for it and it got scrapped. Now you're just making me sad.
I'm sorry, dude. But isn't that terrible? I mean, this whole set, the whole ship, nobody...
Okay, I have a question. It doesn't have anything to do with this minute. Is when we see the ship sail, could this thing actually sail?
I mean, I don't see why...
Was that the ship... I wonder if it was the actual ship that we saw sailing, or if that was something different.
I think
right
that's
at the
a
end.
miniature there at the end.
Is it? I mean, I don't know. I don't.
I mean, clearly, whatever the.
Because if this thing actually could sail and they still destroyed it, then that would really be pathetic.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. That's a dagger through the heart.
As bad as it is, if it couldn't, that's one thing. But if it actually could, then some harbor somewhere could have taken this thing in.
And I mean, you can go to I don't know, a beach somewhere these days, like down in Florida, and you'll see a pirate ship sailing along that they'll take tourists out on and give them the experience.
I've got a video. Well, I've got pictures, and I've got to try and find the video. My girlfriend and I each year go to Treasure Island, Florida, which is just outside of Tampa. And they have a full-size pirate ship that looks just like One-Eyed Willie's that sails in and out of the bay.
And you've been on it?
I haven't been on it. I had never even noticed it till a couple years ago. We've been going for 5 years. And it is the coolest thing in the world.
That's
I was like,
awesome.
because I'm walking over the little drawbridge up, and we have to wait, and I look, and I was like, what in the world is that? And it was an actual pirate ship coming into the bay, and it was the coolest thing. And it kills me. I really think I might have only Snapchatted that. I have pictures. I have pictures of it. I do have pictures of it, but I might have only Snapchatted the video, and that really is going to piss me off if I can't find a video of that.
Well,
you should probably never tell people that you hadn't noticed a giant pirate ship, though, coming in. You should just say you've always noticed it, but this time you just decided to take some pictures
maybe
of it.
maybe here's the thing. Maybe it wasn't there in previous years.
you probably shouldn't tell them that you're on Snapchat either.
Oh, no, I don't care about that. Hey, I have no shame when it comes to stuff like that.
Oh, I know.
But, hey, I'll be there again in June, and I will definitely be on that ship this year, and I will definitely be videotaping.
Do it.
For all to see forever, not just for 24 hours.
You know, there's a Renaissance festival that happens every year here.
Ooh, yeah, a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's a couple miles from here, and it's really cool. I mean, it's they go all out. Everything's really well done, but they have a full-scale pirate ship. A full-scale pirate ship there that used to only be like half of it, and you could walk through it and then just kind of look at it from the outside. But I think in recent years they've actually completed the thing to where you can go walk all up on it and all through it, and there's even like shops inside, say the
cool.
cannonball
Wow.
chamber and stuff like that. Yeah, it's really cool.
Oh, they've got all kind of, and then medieval weapons and all kind of
Yeah.
stuff like that. It's so cool. Although we didn't go last year, I wanted to dress up. We need to dress up next time we go. 'Cause everybody dresses up there.
Yeah,
You know, it's pretty cool.
I did.
You
but
got to
my-
get some photos now then.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, yeah. I'm not afraid to dress up. I dress up like a lot of things.
I dressed up for it, but it was in like the discount costume bin section of like just the worst, most pathetic Halloween costumes you could find, and everyone else there is in like authentic garb and chainmail
Yeah.
and all kinds of stuff, and here I am with a plastic suction cup bow and arrow walking around like a real badass. So. But
This was actually my favorite minute actually from the whole movie. And I'm really glad that we were invited on for this particular minute because it has my favorite line from Goonies actually.
What's that?
And so it's a funny thing. It's not like the line that I quote the most often from Goonies. So the most quotable one that I have is, "Ye intruders beware, crushing death and grief, soaked with blood of the trespassing thief." That's just something I've remembered since probably seeing it day one. And I throw it out every once in a while in a conversation.
Quite often, actually.
Okay, that's quite often. So it comes out. I guess it comes out more than I even realized. That's how much it's just ingrained in me.
Yeah.
But my favorite line is actually a pair of them. It's both from Mouth and Steph. When Mouth and they're underneath, he turns and he's like, "Where's the gold?" And Steph's all, "Where's the gold, Mikey?"
yeah,
Yeah, I love
And-
that. And that was the last note that I had, too.
Yeah, I just love that. And I think, at the time it was just, I just really like that they're so frustrated about it. And then now when I look back on it, I think that there's just like so much symbolism that it has for Goonies. I mean, it fits well with the greed of the Fratellis. Mm-hmm. There's the whole treasure hunt that the Goonies are on. Then it's like Mouth's desire for all the rich stuff. Then there's it's like the whole idea of the solution to foreclosures. X marks the spot. And then, you just can't have a pirate-themed movie without a treasure. And like I said, Steph and Mouth are just like highly frustrated at this point. They've endured all this stuff. And now it's like the Fratellis, we almost died. Just give us the gold. Where is the gold?
Yeah.
And who just doesn't want to say where's the gold all the time? I mean,
And
Exactly.
he was
Where
pissed.
is
I'll
the
tell you
gold?
what, Mouth is pissed.
Yeah.
And Steph is pissed. And they're, hey, you talk about them having some things in common. Boy, they had that in common.
yeah.
that's right.
I mean, they were focused right there.
Maybe that's why they come back together. We saw them push away in the previous minute.
Yeah.
And now, at the end, then they kind of come together or hug again or whatever it is.
Yeah.
This is why they realize, hey, we do really like gold, each of us.
Yeah, that's what they have in common. We were trying to figure out what do they have in common. There's like a 10-year age difference here, and they seem to hate each other. Maybe it's their lust for gold. So, what's funny? We had a special guest on, I think it was last week or week before, and she was asking why the map rhymes if it's in Spanish. Like, is it somehow, why does the translation rhyme, but when it's written in Spanish it doesn't?
Yeah, I remember listening to that episode, and I thought it was a genius comment.
Yeah.
And the only thing I could think of is that Mouth is such a good translator. Maybe he's bringing in that, because some words there aren't exact translations all the time. So maybe he's ad-libbing, and he himself just is a natural rhymer.
Yeah.
He's an early day rapper, if you will, with pirates in Spanish.
Definitely. I can see him doing that. That little punk. I can see him kind of like putting his own spin on it. Who knows? What he's saying might not actually be what's written there at all. It might have been exact coordinates for it and how to, bypass,
Yeah.
how to bypass all the booby traps. But he's like, no, I want to talk about crushing death and whatever. What was it, Scott?
Oh, the
Crushing death.
Ye intruders beware.
Yeah.
I mean, that is my favorite line. I got to tell you. Now you guys got me pumped. I'm just going to be saying it all the time.
Sorry, Heather.
Look what you did.
Yeah. It's, I mean, no, seriously, in a movie filled with great one-liners, that's definitely one that will stick out. And, since I've been watching this movie as long as I can remember with my brothers, there's every now and then one of us will like flip a coin or something and go 1632, and just it's some obscure little reference to this movie. So it's like something we have talked about ad nauseum, just the effect that this movie had on us as children and how it's carried over into our adult lives. Whether it's referencing Mouth's dialogue that he's reading off the map, or saying 1632 every time you flip a coin, is a testament to the movie's staying power.
So do you think that when Brand and Andy tell Mikey to leave that sword when they're below deck, he grabs that sword out of that one pirate? Do you think, and they tell him, hey, just leave that there, don't play with that. Do you think they're telling him not to hurt himself, or that he's going to hurt himself? I mean, even after they've been through all this other booby traps and the fratellis and stuff, is that what's going on there? What do you guys think about that?
It's probably coming from a place of like, you're going to hurt yourself. But again, if it was them saying, "Hey, don't disturb any of this. Don't touch any of this."
I don't think they're
think?
not the ones worried about things getting disturbed.
Mm-hmm.
Mikey's the only one that's going to worry about that in a bit.
And so why is it reversed here? Well, keep going.
What's that?
Just keep going.
No, I think it's because they don't want him to hurt himself.
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, look, he's taking unnecessary chances, and he's got that asthma.
Mm-hmm.
And Brand still is a little bit protective over him.
Yeah.
So, and I think obviously Andy's protective over him.
That's so weird saying.
So I think it's about hurting himself. They're not concerned about One-Eyed Willie like Mikey's going to be concerned about One-Eyed Willie.
Yeah,
He's really the only one that's concerned about actually not disturbing anything, even though I know he did it with the skeleton.
Right. And he kind of gets that humility whenever he gets down in the room and is face to face with what was a bloodbath. Just a man. God knows how he killed the people around the table. Maybe poisoned them, or just straight up slaughtered them all, and then just went and sat down and died. However it is he died. But that makes you wonder. I know we're a couple minutes ahead or whatever. Everybody else, he clearly went and just stabbed or put daggers through their eyes. I'm sorry, Heather, it wasn't the guy's eyes still sticking out of his head. But I wonder how he killed everybody in that room. Because they're all sitting around the table.
And you know what? That's one of the things in the next minute as we look, you'll probably be able to see.
Okay.
I mean, I haven't yet, but we'll look a little bit closer than probably we ever have.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what, that's going to be in the next couple minutes. But as far as minute number 86 is concerned, does anybody have anything else?
Nope. Just that I have a newfound, reverence for Mikey himself when he doesn't listen to Brand or Andy, and he does take that sword away from that skeleton, because I definitely want a 300-year-old sword that I found on a pirate ship.
Right.
What do you think that would sell for?
I don't know. Well, we're actually going to be having a precious stones and gems expert on the show pretty soon, and he's going to tell us what he thinks all of this gold and what they eventually use at the end to save the Goondocks might be worth.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, he's gonna try his best to see if he can, pinpoint it or get as close as he can. But that's in a few minutes from now, and that's it for number 86. So if everybody's good to go, we'll go ahead and wrap it up. So Scott and Heather, Pirates of the Caribbean Minute, tell everybody where they can find you online.
Well, they can find me at scottartist.com, but the real exciting stuff happens at blackpearlminute.com, and all the links and episodes are posted on the website, but we can also be found on iTunes, Stitcher, and all other podcatchers out there. We also have some best of clips on SoundCloud. We're on Facebook and Twitter, and if you desire to leave your pirate message, you can give us a call at 8637-PIRATE.
Awesome.
That's pretty cool. I haven't heard that yet. That's good.
Yeah, it took me forever to find that. So
very cool. And Heather, you're pretty much the same?
Yeah, I'm at blackpearlminute.com.
Awesome. And we also want to give another plug real quick, Scott, to your other endeavor, the Urban Bird Foundation. Huge thanks again for everything that you're doing with that. It's a hell of a hell of a cause. We greatly appreciate it. So
No, that's great. And also, I think you guys are still doing the cystic fibrosis, right, donation thing. You should people should definitely give a review for Goonies Minute and get those donations rolling in.
that's right. Yeah, for every good review that we have on iTunes for Goonies Minute, our friend Brad Mendenhall of the Cosmic Geppetto podcast is going to be donating $1 to the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation. So thank you. Thanks for mentioning that.
Yeah, no worries.
Good deal. All right, well, that's it for today. We'll see you back here tomorrow, everybody, for minute number 87. And until then, this is Brady.
And this is Chris.
And we're here to remind you that Goonies
Never say die.
Goonies Minute is a fan-supported podcast. If you like the show, then leave us a review on iTunes. You can find us at GooniesMinute.com, Facebook.com/GooniesMinute, Twitter.com/GooniesMinute, and at Instagram @GooniesMinute. You can contact us at GooniesMinute@gmail.com. You've been listening to a Pele Media podcast. For premium content and exclusive podcasts, visit us at patreon.com/PeleMedia. Check us out on Facebook at facebook.com/PeleMedia and follow us on Twitter at twitter.com/PeleMedia.